Yes, Lord.
Hi.
I feel like this is one of those FaceTime dates for the 55 plus dating app. It's like he's a black cowboy from Denver and she's a grandma from insert Dust Bowl state here.
From North Dakota.
Yeah.
From Okie.
I've had some good times up in the Dakotas.
Oh yeah, I've never been to a Dakota.
It's beautiful up there, and I didn't realize like how much it sounds weird because of how they've been treated, but the indigenous folks that are originally from this country, you never see them in like major metropolitan cities, but up in the Dakotas they'll be like, oh, that's she lives on the res, and it's like, oh, you're talking about a reservation. Like they're reservations where people live and people go and date people from there. It's just like very Cowboy Al is right. Marcy, let's do this. Yeah. I feel like I'm channeling my inner Tez with this.
Nice. That's awesome. That's really good.
I don't know if I've ever liked a human being as quickly as I did Montez.
That's awesome. That's so cool.
He's a great dude. I'm glad my mom found her dude. Tory, what's going on your end?
I just came back from work and then I ran and got a smoothie. And then I had to pick up some mail. I've just been doing a lot of errands, but now I'm here with the colleagues and my friend Al, and I'm excited to chat.
Yes. All right. Well, anything popping? I know Michael Dean, who's always with us over our shoulder. He's always right there, colleagues. You can't see him, but he's always hovering. He's like Michael Dean is our stage mom. Like sometimes if we hit the wrong clip or something, I'll look down and see, and he's like this close to the screen.
He's like, "You're doing great, sweetie."
Yeah, smile. Yeah. Yes, Michael Dean went to LCD Sound System last night at Red Rocks.
LCD. What does that stand for? No, what does that stand for?
I don't know.
Let's pretend we know.
Yeah.
Lightning control dimmer.
There we go. What was the last show you've seen live, Tory? You go to see a lot of shows.
Oh yeah. What did I see? Backstreet Boys. I saw live.
Oh yeah. Did you even tell us about that situation? Like, how was it? You went and saw them at the Sphere?
Yeah, it was super fun. Had a great time, but yeah, I had a really, really fun time. It was just an amazing. I got to be honest, I would see anything at the Sphere. Highly, highly. And yes, my orange outfit is a nod to Taylor Swift, who we will get to later in the show.
Is that your Easter egg?
Yeah.
Can you tell that I listened to the Taylor Swift pod yesterday?
It was so good. It was so good.
I thought it was really good. I thought it was super interesting. Matter of fact, let's speed things up. Let's just get right to it because I'm kind of I'm ready to talk about it. I think there's a lot of I don't know. Well, you can tell when I've actually watched something. I'm like, let's talk about it right now. All right, Tory, we're going to get to our segment sponsored by Spider in a minute. But for right now, let's talk about Taylor Swift logging on to new heights named after my original hometown, my place of birth, Cleveland Heights, Ohio. Shout out Cedar Road, 12964 Cedar Road. Yes. She was on her boyfriend, Travis Kelce, and his brother, Jason Kelce's podcast yesterday. Tory, what are your initial thoughts? And colleagues, did you guys watch or listen or catch clips? Like what y'all get into?
Julia is saying the podcast was really long. It was really long, but anyone who wants to know more from Taylor knows that she doesn't give a lot. So to get all that information from Taylor was amazing. My first thought was the two of them are so flippin' cute. They are so cute together. He really looks up to her. She really respects him. Like they just have a really great relationship. And I think it's adorable. So I'm super happy for her. And I like how she said, all these songs I've been writing since I was a teenager. I was really picturing the relationship that you did where he said he went to the Eras tour, you guys, and said, I listened to every one of her songs and said, I know exactly what she wants me to do. And I was like, oh, what a great guy.
Oh, so she left the blueprint in her songs about how she wants to record it.
And then he was like, I tried to get a friendship bracelet. I couldn't with my number on it. And she's like, you summoned me, you manifested me, and now I'm here. And it was just like really interesting to hear them speak about each other. And then she talked about the music industry and buying back her records, her from the record label, her entire catalog basically, and how she got really emotional about it, which I thought was beautiful. And I learned a lot. Yeah, someone said I learned a lot about the music industry, said Sylvia. I agree. But yeah, she was writing this the life of a showgirl while she was on the Eras tour, and she felt like a showgirl because she was. And it's only 12 songs, and it's really sexy. She's in a lot of like the different cover art is very like a little part of Taylor we kind of haven't seen before. So it's so cute to me. Sorry, Al, I went on and on, but finally to
No,
say that
please.
he wanted her from the beginning of the Eras tour, and by the end of the Eras tour, they were together, and he was on stage with her. And it's like, what a great story of manifestation. I mean, I think it's great. I love them together. It gave me hope in a world that's really dark.
That look, even though that statement was a weird way to end it, I mean, it's honest. We are living in dark times. There are streets on there's military on our nation's on our nation's streets. Our president is doing some strange things. There is a child pedophilia ring that is in all of at the top of all of our minds. And it was great, Tory, just to see a couple of people that were just in love. I am
Yeah.
a world-class hater a lot of times for sport and because it's what I'm good at. But I looked at those two and the way that they looked at each other, and it's the way everybody wants to find somebody to look at them. They are in love. For all the people, I thought from day one that this was not a bit. I felt like there was something there between those two, and I am so detached from the Taylor Swift world. I think I'm actually a good person to speak on this because I'm not emotionally invested. Because when you're a fan, you're biased. You're like, I want her to find love. I want everybody to find love. So Taylor Swift in this case is in everybody's, in the same basket as everybody else. And so when somebody finds it, even if that person is Taylor Swift, I was really happy for them. I thought she came off wonderfully, Tory. She was interesting. She was relatable. She was funny, quippy, honest. I am again. I didn't come in as a Taylor Swift fan, but I left just saying I'm a fan of who she is as a person, and I think that's even more important. I think that there are things that I disagree with her on. I think the way that she handled the originals and her masters was a little bit of dirty business. I think it was, I find it hard to believe that somebody that is as astute as her had no idea that her entire catalog was being sold. Now, granted, she might not have owned it, but that's kind of what goes on with these artists. I mean,
She's never known to lie before, and this would be a
yeah.
tremendously long lie for her to go into. So I tend to believe Taylor, but I know what you mean, but I tend to believe her that she was sideswiped by it. I think she was, but I
I
don't know.
mean, yeah. Look, it's you can argue that it's the most valuable piece of intellectual property that exists, besides whoever maybe makes the supercomputer or some compressor or something. Taylor Swift's masters are generational Elon Musk type wealth, and maybe not to that extreme, but pretty close. And I was going back and forth because for as much as people argue with me, Tori, I argue with myself. And I looked at the situation. I was like, well, I always say in business, there's no fairness, there's leverage. And she was in a position to exert her leverage to get her masters back, and she did it. So no matter how you feel, if you think it was inspiring, if I think it was dirty business, guess what? Doesn't matter. Check cleared. Yeah, last name Swift, comma, first name Taylor. And look, am I mad anytime an artist gets one over on the music industry after the colossal dump that they have taken on artists throughout time and space? I'm not. So in this situation, even though I don't really agree with the tactics, I will side with the artist selfishly 99.999 times out of 100. So I'm I'm really happy that she did this, and I'm glad that they found love. I did want to bring this question up to you and the colleagues before we move on, because I don't want this to just all be a love fest. Let's have a little reality chit chat, Tor. Travis Kelce made his feelings known. He went after his girl and he got his girl, and that's a beautiful story. But even his brother said, how did you know he was good crazy and not crazy crazy? Because on the extreme end, when stalkers are arrested outside of a celebrity's home, they're like, but me and Tory are married. She just doesn't know it. Now, that's the extreme end of crazy. But in real life, taking away fame and whatever, sometimes when guys shoot their shot, it's not romantic because the woman's not the potential party is not interested. So it's like it's always beautiful when he's a hot Super Bowl winning tight end, but I still don't know like when to give anybody, but especially men, because there's a physical aspect to this, let's be honest, and men tend to be more aggressive about what they're going after, what they want. But I feel like their story will motivate a lot of people falling in love and motivate a lot of restraining orders.
I see what you mean. Like, it was a bold move that he called it out on the podcast and said, I mean, but I don't know. You're Travis Kelce. You're used to shooting your shot and getting it. And so I mean, I think it was really rad and really, really cool that he did that. I think it's so cool. But I know what you mean. If it wasn't Travis Kelce, I could be like, Al, this was concerning. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, I
yes,
do know. I hear you. I do. But yeah, I just wanted to.
absolutely. If you don't know me and I start writing Coco and Company, like I want Tori Shulman's number. Like they'll be like,
Yeah,
all right,
you're
can
like,
you
I
let us
get
know
that.
what number you're calling from, sir?
Right.
Yeah.
But she had her team look into it. He said it publicly, so he didn't. I don't know. Yeah, Celeste is right. It's because he's attractive football player. Literally, someone could write a romance book about them. I agree. But if it was like Joe Schmo, the actuary, I wouldn't want that. But yeah, I do
Yeah.
think she looked into him and felt like she could trust him. And then it just the love bubbles coming out of both of their eyes are so freaking cute. It's just healthy. It's healthy. He supports
Yes.
her. She supports him. There's no like, it just felt like stable. Like they cook together, they travel together. They really, oh, it's great. Okay, sorry.
Yeah. I mean, no, it's a good thing. And it honestly, Tori, as corny as it sounds, it's just good to see that it's possible still, because
Totally.
you never
Oh,
you never get those stories. And I
right.
always say that's why, and colleagues, I want to know how y'all feel about this. I always say watch talking about your business in your relationship with your closest friends, and it seems counterintuitive. It's like, well, I'm gonna tell Tori if me and Sarah have beef, I'm gonna be like, Tori, and then she did this, and then she said that. And Tori, you being my friend, to be like, I don't know if that was cool for her to say, and I don't know. And then like she and I make up this afternoon, and I don't call you back to say it's all good. And so next time you see Sar a couple months from now, you're like, oh, well, she's kind of messed up. Like you don't want to be talking too much about your relationship with other people. And I think that I do like the fact that like when we do get glimpses of a relationship, it's not always bad. It's not always guess what she said. She forgot my birthday. Al forgot to cook for me on our anniversary. So it's just good to see like, yeah, we had a good night tonight. We make sourdough bread together. It doesn't always have to be like making love on the
She loves
beaches
her
of Hawaii,
bread.
you know?
I love it. I love it.
I did like, and also
It's
when are you
good.
getting into your sourdough kick so you can start fattening me up over here?
I had someone on the show that made sourdough, and I was like, "Am I gonna be that person now with the starter?" So,
I think you should.
yeah,
I could see you being big in the sourdough community.
I could too. I could Oh, on the show, guys, I'm gonna save my fact of the day, but they've incorporated it into the show now on Coco, and the audience, there's only like 4 or 5 people, they go, "Ooh," or "No." So it's gonna be
Does
fun.
do any of the colleagues have a new obsession? Tori, do you have an obsession? Because
BritBox,
you
I'm
seem
really
like you float into like different things where I could see you
yeah.
being like, I've been making a lot of ribs lately. I'd be like, what?
No, I'm not cooking at all right now, but Julia's making a lot of bread. Julia, tell us your favorite type to make first off. I am deeply into BritBox. I bring it up. I'm on my I think I'm on my dad's password, but it's like British detective and comedies, all British. And I really am just so happy watching it at night. BritBox is, yeah, again, I pick grandma hobbies, but that's the one I'm most obsessed with right now. What about you, Al?
Uh, besides the shoemaking,
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I need a new hobby. I
I
don't
think
know
you need a
what
project.
it
You're
would
someone that
be.
needs a project.
Well, I'm finishing up my book. I finished up my album that I never released. I'm such a weirdo. It's just sitting in my Google Drive. I don't know if I do things more for. I did have the inclination yesterday. I might write another children's book
Oh, that's great.
after this one. Just because, Ford is older now. And
That'd be really fun to see that.
yeah, so I wanted so that might be it. I think the writing thing for me. And I also found that like I really enjoy taking pictures.
Oh,
I
maybe
know that's like the most
photography.
lame thing. It just seems so lame, but I really enjoy it.
Well, there you go. Someone said they developed a real desire for Starbucks brown sugar oat milk espresso. I
I
actually want
get
to
those
try
for
that.
sorrow.
You what?
I get those for sorrow, that
Okay,
exact
so I
one.
definitely have to try that. And also, Shakila, I hope I'm saying that right. You need to add Acorn TV. Amen. Because I think if can you write me in? I think that's more British mysteries, which if that is true, I'm a nut for this acorn, if you will.
Boo.
Someone says hot pickles. Celeste is into hot pickles. I love it. Oh, and Hunting Wives. That's something we should. Is everyone watching Hunting Wives? I think Allie, have you watched it?
Tory, can I confess something? Because I that's been on my queue, and I'm like, I'm not watching a show called Hurting Wives.
Oh,
I
you thought
thought
it
it
said
was
hurting?
hurting until just I was today years old. I was like, that seems
It's
depressing. Hurting Wives. It's
oh
in
my god.
cursive.
It's so steamy and very lesbians, all sexual and sensual and very hot, apparently. Very good, very fun. Everyone's into it. Is everyone
Well,
into
that's
it?
kind of what I
It's
heard. That's
really
really where the
spicy.
swinging culture came from. A lot of like, you think about hunting, men leaving. You think about military, men leaving. What do
This
you
is silly.
have? A bunch of women. What are you doing? Are you
Does that look better?
auditioning for a cam model for a 13-year-old that's lost? What are you doing right
You see
now?
my mom?
Yeah.
I'm also obsessed, Lucy, with the first 48. I love the first 48. And I know that if you don't catch them within the first 48, it's a different thing. But yeah, it's
I don't care for the first 48. And I'm gonna tell you why. And who said that? Lucy.
Lucy said it.
Lucy, I'm not coming down on the first 48. But Lucy, if you watch, you know I'm not lying. The cops don't have shit. They're like, all right, somebody got shot in front of Tory's residence. And then they're like, oh man, bro, this is crazy. They walk around, they get 3 doors slammed in their face, and then they go back to the office and get some coffee that's going to make them shit in 20 minutes. And they sit there, and then they get a phone call, and it's like, yeah, Al's friend Mike did it. He lives
It's
down the street.
true.
And then they're like, based on a hunch, now they're on the move. Well, I'm like, I could be on the move with that.
I know.
Where's the detective work coming in? They don't do
I know what
anything.
you mean.
They don't
It's a
have
lot of
anything.
tips. It's a lot of tips.
It's
But again, back to the Hunting Wives. I just want to say again, everybody's watching it out. It's very sexual, women on
Oh, wait,
women.
Tori, I don't want to cut you off.
No,
Shelly
it's
said The
fine.
Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. That's my obsession. Me and my girl
So you would
run
love
through that.
Hunting Wives.
Okay.
You're gonna love it, Al. I haven't seen it, but I know. Don't you guys think Al will really like it? I mean, we all know that, right?
Okay.
Okay,
I
we
think
do.
I think I'm here for it. So, all right, we got a couple new shows. All right, Tori, let's do this really quickly while we're on the subject. All right. Moving on, sponsored by Spider Moving. Look, we're getting to one of my favorite segments, Keep It Moving. And I actually got Spider a gig last night. I went to a friend's going away party. Their daughter's going back to college for a second year of college. She plays Division I soccer. And so we had a going away, and I will try and put this on the thread. I cannot believe I did not send this in earlier. This isn't even what I'm moving on from, but it needs to be shown to the colleagues. Let's just say when you have a cookie cake and you have it saying, "We will miss you,"
Missed?
you need to double check miss. Like she's going back to college. Her parents are like, "We will miss you." And you know, they didn't knock it out of the park to her. But I will. Oh yes, I got Spider Spider moving a gig because my friend Eli, they sold their house in Pagosa Springs. They moved here to Denver, and you know he's in his 40s, and you know he's just like, or I should say 50s at this point, and he's like talking to me about unloading the truck, and I was like, Eli, we're done with that, bro. We're done with unwrap. We're done with moving stuff. And he was like, yeah, but it's in Pagosa. I was like, just you drive it here and have Spider unload it. And he was like, I'll do that. I think there is a point where everybody our age, I know we think we got this, guys. There's a point where we got to let it go. And so I got a gig for Eli, for Spider, and I'm going to show you the cake, Tory, that was. In the meantime, can you tell us what you're moving on from? Because I definitely have one.
Colleagues, very quickly, I'm moving on from tags on my clothes that are not rip-offable. I don't want to deal with a pin and a leather part of the tag. I want to rip the tag off. I don't want to have to lasso and sailor's knot and Boy Scout my way through. Like, I just want to rip off the tag. What happened to the plastic? If I have to get scissors, like Michael Dean said, to cut my tag, I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed.
All right.
So I'm moving on from
that. That's legit. Mine is a little bit more personal. Because I know it's not a big deal. But I'm moving on. I'm tired of people. This sounds so lame, but it happened to me this morning because we're dog sitting and I was walking the dog early this morning. And like 2 people crossed the street when I was walking, 2 women. And I don't take it personally. I would kind of, if it was my daughter.
They crossed the street. That's so messed up.
They crossed the street, Tory. And I mean, I go back and forth. They were jogging. It's a small sidewalk, but it just hurt my feelings.
You're allowed that.
You
That's
know?
validated.
Okay. Yeah. I was just like, damn, man. I guess what I'm over more than anything is the idea that like, we're all so freaked out about any kind of human connection at all.
Totally.
Could there be a racial component? Yeah. But I really took it more like, we just don't, and there should just be like, you'd walk past somebody and be like, hey, how you doing? What's up?
Yeah.
It's just like it.
Yeah.
It seems like a disconnection with human beings. It's like you got to finish listening to your Call Me Daddy podcast before you go to your Zoom work call. It's like you're missing the point of this whole thing.
Yeah, it's a great call, Al, and I'm so sorry that happened. That's very, very sad. I don't like that. People cross the street when they see me too, so it might not be.
You have a very, I'm harmless and I'm here to return your library book.
Totally. What's going on?
Yeah. Right. I do kind of like this look for you. You haven't been wearing the hair up in the bun in a while, and I kind of dig it.
Yes. But look how bad my roots are, colleagues.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna get that fixed. But in the meantime, let's do this. Tory, we're talking Trump and Putin, the Simon and Garfunkel of fascism.
Feeling groovy.
Tory, they are meeting in Alaska. It's one of those things where when you're on a first date or second date, maybe you're like, let's meet halfway. What's a town halfway between me and you?
It is.
Alaska is it.
It's true. It's very
So,
true.
Tory, what do you think about this meeting? Do you think it's weird that Zelensky from the prime minister of Ukraine, like he's not, or the leader of Ukraine, he's not invited to this meeting? It just seems like overall, Trump is doing a lot of things by himself, which right off the bat, I'm uncomfortable with. But like, he sent his own lawyer to meet with Ghislaine Maxwell. Like everything seems to be like on the low. Like he moves like a shady stepdad, you know? Oh,
Yeah.
I'll go get the party favors myself. And they're like, why were you gone for 6 hours? Party store was closed. I had to go to, it's like, you lying, dog. You know what I'm saying? It just, he's doing like stuff on the low on the world stage, which is very strange and very hard to pull off.
Yeah. I think Trump thought he and Putin had a better relationship. And I truly think he thought he could have a phone call with Trump and Putin. Trump thought this and could end the war. Like, I think he thought they really honestly were like bros. And he's not like
I think you're exactly
you know what I
right.
mean? Like a KGB, like Putin was in the KGB. This is a dictator. He doesn't have bros. He doesn't have friends. He poisons his friends. So I think Trump thought this could possibly be. And then lately we've seen him say, Putin, you're not, he's actually stood up a little tiny bit to Putin. So I don't know if Putin's coming for a peace call or if this is a big trap, but I would assume, knowing anything from Russia, this is not coming in good faith. I don't trust Russia as far as I can spit. I think Putin is a double dealer, horrendously dangerous human being. And I think that Trump gets overwhelmed with his loyalty. And he sort of like gets a little turned on by the way that people look at Putin, and he wants to be Putin. So nothing good, I think, can come of this, because Trump's weak, Putin's strong, and Zelensky's left being like, what about our country? So, yeah.
Right. Well, just in preparation for the story, I went back and looked at a few things. I went back 7 years ago and looked at, don't forget about the infamous meeting during Trump 1.0 when Trump went on stage in Helsinki. And after the FBI said that it appeared that Russia had tried to affect the election, Trump goes, well, Putin said they didn't, so we're going to ride with that.
You
And
can't be
here we are.
trusted. Yeah.
I mean, that's the whole point.
Yeah.
It.
He's a bad man. He's a
Right.
bad man.
Well, Tori, this is what I wanted to throw at you and throw at the colleagues, because this is what I didn't know. It's just like almost when there's a parent that's an alcoholic, the older kids start to step up because they're like, this person can't be trusted. As recently as today, I found out that weapons production in Europe is up 70% because they are preparing for, if Russia was to take Ukraine, their next stop would be Poland, and their next stop would be all of Europe. And Europe does not feel like the U.S. can be a trusted ally at this point.
Yeah.
And so they are clearly scrambling. If they're moving, I mean, when you tell all your companies you need to focus strictly on making weaponry now, they must know something we don't.
Yeah, I do think Poland is something that people worry is coming up next. And again, I agree with everybody in the chat right now. I just think that Putin plays people like Trump for a fool. And I think Trump is being like, daddy. Like, it's all a daddy issue. Anyway, he looks up to a strong male dictator like he is a boner for Kim Jong-un. Sorry. But yeah,
No, they were saying I love you to each other.
Yeah, it's a weird fetish, and it's a bizarre feeling. So I just think, if I could tell you not to trust anyone, it's the Chinese, the Russians, and North Korea. And I just fear that. And I agree with you, Al, about this idea of we're stacking our weapons is always a bad sign. And I think people feel that if it's true, Trump and Putin has the smarts, and he's going to play him.
Well, it's just a win for Putin, just for the photo op, because I'm sure at the time that we're doing the show, there's a picture of those two men on a podium, holding their hands together, or nodding together. Just a photo. I mean, Tori,
Yeah.
just think about like, if you had beef with somebody that we all worked with, like you had a legitimate, I'll say somebody impossible. Let's say you had beef with Michael Dean, right? And you told me all the things, and I was like, I can't believe you did that. I can't believe you did that. And then you're on Instagram and you see me, Michael Dean, like in a picture, like kicking it. Right there, no matter what the context is, you might call me and I have a perfectly good reason for why we took that picture. But just the picture itself is a bad look for us because Zelensky's not in that picture. The Prime Minister of Canada is not in that picture. The Prime Minister of the UK or any of our other Germany, any of our allies are not in that picture.
Yeah.
Who are you standing with? And
Yeah.
you know,
and you think
the
of
vision
famous
says a lot.
pictures. You think of Treaty of Versailles, you think of Yalta, and you think of like Churchill and Roosevelt together, you know, and you see that, and it's really important that you have both countries' leaders together in those photos. And this photo will be seen as Trump, who had to leave the White House to go see Putin, the Russian dictator, with no countries behind him, is it's bad photo op for the rest of history. I agree
And
with
that
you.
picture is going to go all over the world, boo.
Yeah,
Speaking
it'll
about
stay.
things
Yes,
going,
textbook. It's textbook.
yeah, well, I want to talk about this, girl. A Subway sandwich was thrown at a police officer in DC. I don't know, Tory, if you've been looking at the footage coming out of DC and how the local, oh, here it is.
That's a drunk DCer, man.
Well, yes. All right, he got a sandwich and then yeah, it's you know what that reminds me of, Tory?
The shoe.
When I was the shoe for sure with Bush with the two shoes, but also I don't know if I ever told this story. When I was a middle school teacher, my first year teaching, my kids were wild AF. Because when you come into the middle of the school year, they allow each teacher to get rid of 4 students off of each of their classroom rosters, and that becomes your classroom.
Jeez.
So I got the 4 worst kids in everybody's class. They were like, oh, here, you can take Michael, Patrick. Yeah, let me pick another name out of a hat. Danny. You know, like they got rid of all, and it was like Con Air in my classroom. And there was a kid that, like, looking back on it, definitely had ADHD, but like that term wasn't out yet, you know? So he just kept getting up, and every day I would tell him to sit down like 18, 20 times a day. And one time I was taking roll with my highlighter for all the kids that were cutting, and they stood up like he did every day, and I snapped, and I threw my highlighter, and thank God it didn't hit him. It just hit the wall behind him and dropped. But as I threw it, I was just like, I'm fired. Like I was immediately, I was like, and I just felt that when I saw him throw that sandwich, because he had turned to run before it even hit. He knew.
He was either. Now Michael Dean is telling us we think he might be part of the Department of Justice, and he is now.
This guy's a lawyer,
and he's been fired, and he's now been fired since.
Well, they're also pursuing felony charges, and that's kind of the question.
Oh, that's assault. That's an assault, brother.
But is that like, do we need to get? He's already lost his job. Do we need
First
to
of all,
like?
Wait, hold on. It's an assault because it's Subway. Ew.
I mean, yeah. I mean, the bigger
Subway
indictment is that he's. What are your feelings on Subway, really quickly?
Gross. So gross. Apparently, their bread isn't even bread, and like it's too much sugar, and like I don't know. But sometimes I crave their tuna fish sandwich. But yeah, you can't toss that because you have no idea what's in it. That's an assault on a federal officer, unfortunately.
Could he be looking at jail time for that?
That's felony. Yes.
But should he go to jail for that?
I mean, Michael Dean, Subway is the most store locations of any franchise in the United States. Should he go to jail as a deterrent? I mean, you can't throw things at these officers, no matter how much. We have to do nonviolent protests, just like Dr. King said.
Yeah, but those don't seem to work very well because the police officers are very violent a lot.
Well, the civil rights movement, it seemingly worked. For the gay rights movement, it seemingly worked. There was no violence.
That's true. I would say I would love to see the police show the same decorum. You know what I think about all the time when it comes to the civil rights movement? We act like that was like a long time ago, just because those pictures are in
Oh,
black and white.
it's like
It wasn't that
64.
long ago. Yeah,
No.
that's like 13 years before I was born. And it's
Yeah, it was,
like,
yeah.
you think about now, you go, if anything happened right now in your place, you'd run outside and grab a police officer. Just imagine you're pulling up to a protest, 1965, 1964, and the police are out there screaming at you too. That's insane.
How about Kent
Like, not
State
only
where
just
they shot someone?
the racists are behind the police because the police are like, no, we want to go first.
Right. It's bad. It's bad.
Yeah.
So is anyone here into Subway? I'm not seeing it. First of all, the names are great. The hoagie felony, the foot long felony. That's good.
Yeah.
$5 foot long, $5. Maybe he'll only have to pay $5 as a fine.
And fines,
Um,
that'd be funny.
But the big Subway felon we know is Jared, so he can't be the oh, Julia said, I have a hard time spending money at Subway after the Jared incident. I just think their bread is weird. I don't know. I don't think it's a real
You're like, I'm
sandwich.
fine with what Jared did.
Oh yeah, I'm not.
Yeah,
But yeah,
okay. Well, I mean, I think jail time is a bit much, but I think that this administration is looking for anything and everything to distract. And I think that's one of the major reasons that we're seeing troops in the streets. Like, what are they doing? They're troops. What is it called? Posse comitatus? They can't arrest you. They're not trained to arrest people. So what are they there to do?
They're there for the uptick in crime, in which our mayor I'm from DC, they say there is no uptick in crime. So they're there to be a shiny object, Al, and we're not paying attention. Guess what? That's not happening. ELC says that Jared lived about 4 miles from him. Did y'all go to the same Subway?
Is that the Subway he walked to?
I would love. Oh yeah, he walked. That's right.
That was the big campaign. Is that he
right,
walked to the Subway?
Right. You're right.
Yes.
Okay.
A lot right past a bunch of elementary schools.
Next topic.
Look, that's not on me. Subway. It's so, what's so interesting about these predators, especially the ones that get high up, is the only difference between like a guy that's just got wearing an ankle monitor right now and it's got a red dot over his house as a predator, and the ones that get away from it with it for years is they get down with an institution, whether it's United States Gymnastics or Subway or Penn State, because the natural instinct of these institutions is to protect themselves. I don't think they care one way or the other about the predator. They clearly care enough to hide them, but to not have the bad press, they'll cover for you and they'll move you around and they'll lie to you. They'll lie for you because it's self-preservation. But what you end up doing is just like, there's all these seeds of distrust now where I don't trust. I wouldn't send my kids anywhere.
Yeah, you said that 7 years ago. You're like, I would not have my kid alone.
Can't do that.
Yeah.
Ohio State wrestling can't do that. Penn State football can't do that.
Michigan State gymnastics can't do that.
Can't do that. I mean, it's really that's a topic for another day. But it's just like so interesting how little oversight there is for these bodies that have children. If I wanted to run a daycare out of my condo, there would be somebody here measuring the square footage. They would briefly kind of, check my background. I don't have any arrests, any felonies. And then just like people are good to start dropping their kids off. I mean, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, I don't know. It's crazy, but what am I supposed to, what am I to do? Tory, we have a really fun, interesting, I don't know if this counts as a main story, but it will. All right, Tory, I want to talk to you about how we have the technology now where computers, and Michael Dean, help me because I might mess this up. Scientists can now decode imagined words. Do you understand this? Because I did a little bit of a rabbit hole because I wanted to be able to explain it with some coherence.
What?
Wait, are you asking for me?
Well, Michael Dean, just make sure that I like that you could just say Michael Dean's name and he appears. I want to get that app in my brain where I'm like, Michael Dean, what should I do? Because I'm thinking about making a comment about how my friend looks like they've gained some weight, and Michael Dean would be like, "Hey, I'm here." Don't do that. But no, really, basically, they're studying the patterns in your brain waves, and they have figured out that your brain waves make certain parts of your brain light up when you're looking at certain images. So now they can look at the parts of your brain that are illuminated and almost like by deductive reasoning figure out the image that you're looking at.
The computer can read those impulses and tell you the word that you're just imagining. So people who can't talk can talk to their family using this computer stuff.
So they're mind reading a little bit.
Basically, it's 100%. It's bonkers.
You can mind read. Okay.
So what are your thoughts? Do you understand?
Yes, I do understand.
Because it took me a while. I'm not trying to be insulting. I watched it a bunch of times to be like, what?
No, they see, imagine your brain as a whole cityscape, and they see which buildings light up, and because of that, they'll be like, oh, she's thinking about food or apples.
Her grandkids.
Yeah,
yes,
or her, different buildings.
She sees her grandkids. This building lights up when she's dancing. Yes.
Okay. So you want to know what this made me think of? Colleagues, have you guys ever seen The Minority Report? It was written by Philip Dick in the 60s, I believe. 60s back then. And Tom Cruise did a movie with it. And what they had is called precog crime. And Al, this is about arresting people before they did the actual crime, but they were thinking of it.
Right.
So it makes me think it almost feels like a slippery slope of like, are we going to use AI to read minds of like a sexual offender to see? Oh, you know what I'm saying? I could see how this is good for nonverbal people, but I could see this being a slippery slope.
With every, beautiful thing, with every rose, there's a thorn. And you're exactly right, because just think, if you're a person that is unable to speak, now you can, just by thinking, it'd be like, tell your partner, thank you for standing by me all these years. Yeah. Right. Or the bigger thing, I don't like your chicken. Start making pasta.
I want pasta or ice cream or something like that. But like, what if they use this to like decode your mind before you do things? This is a very slippery slope.
Well, you know what? It's good. The first thing I thought about was police interrogation.
1,000%. What are they thinking? It's right. It's all, this is like it's a Black Mirror. You're right, Michael Dean. This is a Black Mirror. This is Minority Report. I mean, this really is where they are finding in the brain, before you take action, your impetus, your thoughts. God.
Right. I mean, I could see a Supreme Court case about a thought crime.
We've kind of
crossed this bridge a little bit, in that there are people that have written things on the internet. And is that enough? Does that qualify? So, there's famously the case of those California bank robbers. They pulled over, they had guns, masks, Kevlar, every rope, zip ties, and the cops had to let them go because they're like, you haven't done anything. You just own a bunch of shady stuff.
That's right.
And then they went and robbed the bank 4 minutes later.
Right. But can you be arrested for the things you think? You know what I'm saying? That it becomes a whole thing.
Wasn't there kind of a comedy based on this years ago with Mel Gibson, or was it Tom Cruise, called What Men Think or something?
It was Mel Gibson.
Yeah.
What women think? What women? Yeah, he could hear every woman's thoughts.
Oh yeah.
And it was like really loud. And I think it was Helen Hunt. Am I wrong?
Probably. I don't. Not probably. Anyway, I mean, that's probably correct. Yeah.
What women want. That was it. Thank you, Brandon. Yeah. And yeah, Mel Gibson. What a fall.
But yeah, what a fall. But like, he found now his people, because Mel Gibson,
they're not the Jews. That's for sure. Not the Jews.
Yeah. He was never really repentant about what he said. And now, he's getting a Kennedy honor from Trump.
No, he's not. I don't think he is. I think I said as a joke he would be, but I don't think he's listed.
Oh, well, I mean, he's kind of like found his niche, and he's got, he's still on Joe Rogan, and like he's never backed off. He's not a fan of the Jews.
He was America's.
Blacks, I'm sure, aren't high on there. He's got Danny Glover. He's got Danny Glover in his phone, and next to it says, Danny Glover, do not answer. So yeah, I mean it is what it is. But yeah, I mean I think this is fascinating. We could talk about this forever. But Tori, I think we're gonna need to talk about are you done with do you want to talk about Melania and Hunter Biden? I don't want to talk about them anymore. They're just like they kind of stuff. Okay, let's talk about this because I'm kind of interested. Let's do this. Okay, Michael Dean, I'm purposely pushing off the rabbit story because I don't want to see it, and I know it's
I
going to
want to
mess
see
me
the
up.
rabbits. All right.
All right, let's do the dumb rabbit story.
We'll do it
Michael Dean,
quickly. We'll do it
uh,
quickly.
I guess rabbits have something growing. I can't look at. I don't want to
They're
see
growing
this.
out of their head, I think Michael Dean
Wait,
said.
okay, Tori, do you know any of this? Okay, there's like a weird fungus that's giving rabbits tentacles that
Oh,
are
I don't
growing
like
out of it.
this.
I told you I wouldn't like it. Jesus Christ.
Oh, okay.
Sorry,
Oh,
anybody that's religious.
no.
I
Oh,
know.
okay.
I
I was
told you I didn't
wrong.
want to see that.
I was wrong.
I
was
wanted to do
wrong.
the dumb wedding soap
Move
story.
it over. Do another one.
All right. We're gonna do weddings, and then we're gonna get out with helicopter kids. So let's do this.
To be near you feels like heaven in the afternoon.
All right, Tori. We're talking wedding gifts from a mother-in-law. Mother-in-law. She's giving wedding soap favors, but here's the kicker, Tori. The wedding soap stings to high heaven. What do you think about this gift? Is this the definition of passive aggressive?
Does she know it stinks?
The mother-in-law, yeah, it's like the candles that don't blow out on the birthday cake.
Oh God, this is cringe. That's not fun for a wedding favor. Unless we're at a 3rd grade birthday party. This is terrible.
It's it's a bigger, that would be one thing, kind of looping together two stories that we've covered today. The idea of like what goes on in mother-in-laws' heads, because I think there's some mother-in-laws like mine that will be happy when I'm married and like her son is a man and like go have your life and do, and then there's a sizable chunk of mother-in-laws that are like, this chick Tori trying to take my son / husband man of my house. Like there's a lot of adversarial, like he doesn't like his cereal poured like that, Tori.
Oh, it's
Why
terrible.
so much creamer in his coffee, Tori? Do you know how to take care of my son, Tori? And it spills over into the speech at the wedding, and now it's spilling over into the gift. So what do you think?
So wait, Michael Dean, can you tell us the bride is unsure if she should power through, hide the soap so guests can't take them home, or tell the groom's mother the truth about the stinky scent. So does the mother not know? Or you know what I'm saying? Or is she doing?
Is it the bride that's giving these?
No. It's the mother-in-law. But she's like, do I tell the mother-in-law that these stink? Okay, we don't know if the mother-in-law knows. So if she doesn't know, someone should tell her.
Let's assume she doesn't know. So that takes the point.
Then tell her. I'm a pushy Jew in here. It feels like you got to tell her. You got to be honest. You're starting a contract of love and trust there. You can't do that.
Well, you're saying that, but like you got to factor in the relationship that the mother-in-law, like every mother-in-law ain't you or my mama.
Oh, she made the soap? Okay. We're getting the story dribbled down.
Yes, but I mean, I'd rather it come out like this.
She made the soap. Okay, now I take that back.
Well, what do you do, Tor?
I mean, I let her just that you can't say that to the mother-in-law that you can't put your stinky. So I mean, she made that. But
it's not good.
Well, you know what? You can laugh it off with your friends. Like, who cares? You know what I mean? Perhaps there was an accident. Maybe you know what? I don't know. I just feel like let the mother-in-law, she's losing a son. Let her have the stinky soap. Let her have it. I don't know. Let her have it.
Yeah. It just, again, it's like when you see somebody and they're wearing a terrible hat. Don't come at me. And you can just tell they don't have one friend to just be like, hey, because it maybe is like a sign of like the mother-in-law not being surrounded with a lot. Because I think like we did that story yesterday about friends that roast each other. Like having a friend, and they were talking about what positive social. Like if you did that, I would make fun of you relentlessly. I would follow you around the studio. I would make people smell it in front of you, and I would shame you. But you know what you wouldn't do, Tory? Make that soap again, or you would change the
Right.
formula.
Right.
And
Yeah. Maybe
that's
after
the
the wedding.
positive roasting. It's like when you just let stuff slide, maybe she's gonna keep doing this. Oh, you guys are this couple's gonna have kids.
Oh God.
They're gonna get stankin' ass baby soap.
Christina S says fake an allergic reaction and then pretend to feel bad. Oh boy.
Yeah, I mean that's a rough one. And I mean, I think that's the part that you never think about when you start getting homemade gifts. Like you are a gifted cross stitcher, and any gift that you gave would be really good. But I think you're in a different tier, Boo. And for as much as it hurts my heart to say that, you're really good. And so, like, I think a lot of people, they're like, I made this for you. And it's almost like when a kid's like, Dad, I made you an ashtray. And you're like, I don't smoke. And your wife's like, just take it, dummy. Like, I don't know. Like, that's how I don't know. You're giving people a false sense of like,
yeah, but sometimes that's, yeah, I hear that. But maybe don't do it on the wedding. Just don't put her down. I feel bad.
I dig that. All right, Tori, let's do this one. We haven't done this one in a while. Coming up next, we're talking about helicopter kids. Tori, I think this is going to be a bigger thing as we get older and older, because it used to be that your grandparents and your parents at a certain age got pretty frail. You'd be like, Mom doesn't walk so well anymore. Dad's a little slower than he used to be. My mom went to Africa 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
My mom is stylish and living her life. She does way more than I do. But now there's this trend of helicopter kids that are like taking over parenting duty. And I'm sure a lot of times, obviously, if you have a parent that's incapacitated, you need to do that. But I think a lot of times they just think that this is their role, even though their dad is like, I'm fine.
I think parentified children have a lot of trauma in later life. So I think this is really dangerous.
What do you mean by parentified? Because I don't know if that's a word.
It is a word. It's in
that sounds
therapy.
Like a word like functified.
No, it's not. It's when there was either a lack of parental duties being shown, or the person was sick. Like my mother was really ill, and usually an older sister or anybody or an older person will feel the absolute need to control the situation, the chaos that's going on. Or if you have like an alcoholic in the family, or if there's just chaos in the family, a lot of anger and temper and fighting, they will feel the need to take the role to like control the situation. But it takes an enormous amount out of your, I know this is going to sound hard, but childhood wound to have to parent the parent. That's unnatural. It's not healthy. You are stunting yourself as a child. And later in life, you really struggle. Like this is a really big thing I deal with. And I know a lot of kids that deal with this. You're not allowed to be a kid. You can't play and feel free and have that expression. You are constantly worried that if you don't, mom and dad are going to die, or mom and dad are going to explode, or you're going to have an abandonment issue here. So it's very, very difficult to have a kid. Sorry to take it so deeply, but you want to let the kid be age appropriate in the way that they treat the family members. And this is so not age appropriate that it causes major catastrophe later in life. That's my feeling.
No, I love it. And Tori, I want you to keep talking because I love what you're saying. What advice would you give to any colleague that's like, I'm kind of living this? Because our colleagues are like chill and with it, and they're like, I'm good. But I'm sure there's some parents like, Mom, don't. There's a lot of stayers coming up. You're like, I'm good, dog. So like, what would you say? What's a nice way to like say I'm good, dog, to your son or daughter that really is coming from a place of love?
Well, Christina S says it great. I have to keep telling my 8-year-old that I'm the mommy and she can chill out. And that's a great way of saying it, because it's enhancing secure attachment. So you don't have to worry about this. I got that. That's my job. That's my role. Mommy's got this. You go play. There's a real sense of, relief for a child to be able to do that. So a lot of parents that are working 2-parent households that are probably like, you get the dinner on, you take care of the baby, you get this. The older kid usually is really suffering and not expressing themselves in the way that's age appropriate. And they become sort of micromanagers or very controlling later in life. They feel that, or they're very codependent. They have to take care of everything, and it can cause a lot of messed up neural pathways, to be super honest. And it's tough. It's really frustrating. You just want to be a kid. So again, you just say secure attachment. I got this. Mom or dad, you're good. You're safe. You're safe right now. And you can go do your thing. And that really is the secure attachment. That's the script I've learned,
That makes sense. I think that what you're saying is plausible and is good advice, but I think it's hard. And I think probably to whoever is kind of currently living this, you have to put aside a little bit of your anger as well, Tor, because feeling condescended to and infantilized is borderline insulting. And you're like, hey, dude, I was in the army, or I have a PhD and 2 master's degrees. Like I can figure this out.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it comes from a good place. I think it also comes from a place of an adult child who is still in many ways still your child. Still your child. I don't care how many years you guys have on each other. And I think it's the fear of them coming to terms with one day losing you and not being able to handle that, that it becomes this over, almost like if somebody gives you like a super expensive crystal bird, for your house, and you're just like carrying, you're like, and everybody's like, you're going to crush it in your hands because you're being so protective with it. Totally. And so I think it's hard, because both people are coming from a place of love. Both people are trying to redefine roles, and that are almost like Freaky or Friday flipped.
Yeah.
In a way, because I think it's hard. Also, like if you're a parent or, older parent and you're like 60 something, you're like dating, and your daughter's like, Mom, you can't go on, Bumble, you're going to get scammed. And you're like, I'm fine, dude. Like there's a thing where your son should look out and make sure that you're, safe. But at the same time, like your mom wants to get her F on too, for lack of a better word. You're a human being. You have sexual feelings. You are not done in this life by any extent. And your kid, in a way, kind of feels like they're trying to prepare you for the casket. And I think, again, it comes from a good place, but it can be a real bummer.
I hear that. My dad would be like, I can walk, I'm fine. Even though or my mom, you'd go to help her and she's like, I got it. You got to read the room.
Yeah.
You got to read the room.
If you don't mind me asking you a personal question, have you talked to your dad about dating, or is that too soon?
No, he's interested, and I'm all for it. I'm trying to get him and out there, and he's kind of, people are setting him up as we speak. So there are things going on.
Wait, and is there a yenta involved? See, I've been around.
There's
Jewish
a yenta
women.
For sure. There's a yenta for sure.
Tell everybody what a yenta is.
Yeah, so yenta is a matchmaker in Jewish history. There's always one yenta who knows everything about the village and gossips, and she tells everyone who should date. And so, yeah, being a yenta is very Jewish. But yeah, I think he wants companionship, and I think if you are like, but mom, or I miss mom, you got to let them be an adult human being. You know what I mean? An autonomous person. They're not just dad. So yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing that, because that's that's very personal.
For sure.
But it's something I talked to my mom about, and like she found her dude.
Yeah, Montez with the hat.
Yeah, I want Jerry to find his Montezina.
Montezina. That's good.
Can I ask this, Tory? What's up? Is Jerry?
No.
Is his dance card open to all shades? Is he united?
No. Jerry's interested in this. I think there might be a little frisson, if you will, here about this match. So we'll see if it pans out.
I'm saying, would he date a black woman?
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay, I always thought he would. I'm telling you this, Tory. Your dad needs to get a black woman named like Loretta, and she's retired with full benefits from the sheriff department. She's good. She got a 36-year-old son that lives in Hawaii. He's in the military. And she's just like, I bought this RV. I was just going to drive around myself, but there's room for one more partner. Next thing you know, Jerry coming back. He knows all the words to Mary J. Blige, what the 411. And
my God. You're
I'm telling
hysterical.
you. I see
I
a
love it.
future. Yeah, then we can write a script about it and sell
I
it.
hope for sure.
right.
That'd be funny.
All right, Tor, let's get to your fact of the day if I can find it. Dang it. I'm not moving. There's a thing where like sometimes I can't find my mouse and that sounds like code for something. But I think Doc, sometimes at night I look down and I don't have a mouse. Hold on. All right, just do your dumb fact. I can't find it. I can't do it.
Okay. Everyone is loving the Loretta storyline, by the way.
I'm telling you.
That's a good script. That's a really funny
Yeah.
script. Okay, guys, this is really interesting. It is called the Dolbear Law, made by Amos Dolbear in 1897. And he came up with this and published it. You ready? If
Okay.
you're outside and you want to know the temperature, but you just don't have your phone for some reason and you don't know what it is, if you count the chirps of a cricket for 15 seconds and then you add the number 40, you will get the accurate Fahrenheit temperature.
Wait, I need you to say that again, but then also never say that again.
So the Dolbear Law is that the amount of cricket chirps within a 15-second span, let's say it's, I don't know, let's say it's 20. You add the number 40 to it and it's 60 degrees outside.
Really?
Yeah.
And that's a real thing.
Real thing. It's called the Dolbear Law. In 1897, it was published. Now, Michael Dean saying if there are no crickets, that's a problem. Then you're stuck.
Yeah. There's some Michael Dean. Listen, there are some problems with that. But yeah, let's say you live in a major city.
Again, if you do hear crickets, sometimes I thought of that too, Julie. Julia, I thought I get crickets at my stand-up. But yeah, if you have crickets, all you have to do is listen for 15 seconds, add the number 20, and you've got your temperature. Easy as that.
Tor, I love it. And before we go, I didn't get a chance to make a banner for this, but I did want to give a shout out and to have all of our colleagues right now. If you guys remember the legal commercial that Tory and I did? They are official sponsor starting today, but this was recent, so I didn't get a chance to make a banner, and I'm going to have a whole thing. But you guys do me a favor. Go to injuryhelpcenter.com. Michael Dean, could you put that up? Is that possible to make a banner real quick, or is that going to take a while? Injuryhelpcenter.com. And if you fill that out, guys, that will, tell them that you came from us. And that's right, injuryhelpcenter.com. And just let them know that we sent you, and you'll help support the show. And also, get a good attorney, as I might need for Mr. Asbestos over here. I've already hit them up. So yeah, if you have any situation that's going on, go to the injuryhelpcenter.com. And if you want to just give them a call, that's easy too. Call 800-316-7500. Again, that is 800-316-7500. You guys do me a favor. Hit that. That's not where it's on the other side, Tori.
No,
there we go.
It's right there.
No, your hand is off the screen. Move it over some more.
No, it's right there.
No. Well, we have a split screen. You're pointing at the one place that it isn't.
I'm not.
Yeah, you just move your hand. Go the opposite way of what. Yes. Now
no, there's nothing there, Al.
You're pointing right at it on my screen.
Well, you're wrong.
You're pointing at nothing. I love you. But yes, you guys do me a favor. If you have any legal question, you're not bound to do anything, that no one's going to harass you. Just go on there. It's really good for the show, and it'll be really good for you. And we appreciate you guys supporting the show. We will see you next week. Tori, I don't want to say it's over, but